I am listening to nearly 100 albums from the year 1955, and I just finished listening to the Dave Brubeck Quartet with Brubeck Time, released on Columbia. Now, Brubeck, during this time, Dave Brubeck, of course, very famous West Coast jazz pianist who will become very famous in the latter part of the 50s, which we will get to in time. At this point in his career was mostly known for kind of playing the college circuit a lot, and a lot of his album releases with Columbia are college centric live albums, performances at colleges, and things like that. And so getting a studio album is interesting because you then have to contrast the atmosphere of the studio setting and the atmosphere of the live setting. And I think that Brubeck's live albums are really good for the most part, at least the ones that I've heard. The studio stuff is interesting. I have always felt that Brubeck lives in a very melancholy and not melancholy but mellow space, more so than even some other West Coast jazz pianists that I'm aware of. And because of that, I think I've actually struggled a little bit in the past to appreciate Brubeck on a fuller level. And this record doesn't change that a ton for me. I think for the most part this is pretty low key. Brubeck and the quartet running through a number of different standards and things like that. And for the most part it is good. And having Paul Desmond here, I think really Desmond is the anchor to a lot of these quartet records. His sax tone is really lovely and nice, and I do think that the rest of the band is solid, and Brubeck is an effective piano player who rarely draws a ton of attention to himself. He's mostly content to sort of elegantly breeze through pieces. But the tracks that interest me the most here are probably the two originals, Audrey and Stompin' for Millie as well. The latter has a little bit more of an aggressive performance from Brubeck, which is atypical, but I really like when he does that because it's just more dynamic. And I like it when Brubeck gets a little bit more dynamic in his records. For the most part at this point, I would say this is a good Brubeck album, maybe not necessarily a career highlight. I don't necessarily think most people view it in that lens, but not bad at all. And for Brubeck fans who haven't checked it out, I would recommend it. I would say if you're a general West Coast jazz fan, it's probably worth your time. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Brubeck Time, Dave Brubeck Quartet, 1955. Pretty good. Worth your time.